Hey everyone, how's it going? Okay, so a little late starting the stream today. Well, that should be fine. Have some things to do as we're preparing for, doing a couple of things here. We're like getting Victo ready for a wider audience by implementing some interesting APIs. We're also getting ready to kind of make the agent platform go live in a kind of public beta type of thing. So in preparation for that, we need some things. We need some models out there that people can use instead of using, for example, OpenAI all the time. And because that gets expensive very quickly. And so today we'll be trying to set up Llama 770B on an H100 machine, see how that goes. And just based off of the xai-llm-server, and then also deploy that in a production kind of configuration. I think that's what we'll do today. I want to first kind of get it up and test it in the development configuration and see if it works and what kind of performance we get with the H100, and also see how well it does in a babyagi kind of context. We might, I kind of expect that we might need to fine tune these things a little bit. So I want to kind of give it a test, see how it goes. So let me start my screen sharing and let's get started. I think this is the correct screen. Okay, we'll do this. Okay, so you can see one of the issues we're having right now. It's not using the GPU, which is a little annoying. If you look at HTOP, you can kind of see not a lot is going on. Not a lot is going on at all. Yet there was two deltas being sent, right? So, that's something, I guess, but things a little weird. Let me bring the technologic over here so we can kind of see. Technologic really doesn't really work very well when you have a server that's unresponsive and things like that. So I'll be kind of restarting technologic quite a bit. But anyway, let's go here. Close up my folders. I have a lot of folders. And over here. Okay, cool. So right now I've modified technologic to have both OpenAI and local. And I've set it to run local through a port forward and running Llama to 7dB chat. Now something there is not working, so I'm going to go to Minstrel real quick and just double check that things aren't weird. So if I'm not mistaken, in here I should have a Mistral model. I do not have a Mistral model on this server. Yeah, that's annoying. So let me upload one. So let me SCP index CPP models. Then we have the Mistral instruct. It's a pretty good model, so let's just give that an upload and see how it goes. Hey, Mansfer. So yeah, so that'll take a couple minutes. But a keen-eyed among you, there might be some interesting things up here in my menu bar. I really like how this works. Like just having a menu bar to start circuits in a particular directory, and then just having an app on my dock to do things. I'm really liking how that works. Could be like it could be a little bit more Mathematica style, especially when doing like these quantization experiments that I had, right? But I don't know. It is kind of nice to have this as an app instead of in a browser, mainly because I do, I do lots of things by accident and like keystrokes by accident, like pressing Control Q or Command Q, something like that, to do something and accidentally closing this thing. So yeah. But anyway, I do have Mistral working, and this is currently set up to use that. So on my workstation computer, I have Mistral running. And you can kind of see it doing its thing. It's it kind of works. It doesn't really get what I'm getting at here. In this thing, I'm telling it to, like write something in a folder, and that's not really working out there. So a little unfortunate, but not too bad. Not too bad. Like looking at it run, it's like, hey, it's getting there. Mistral is pretty good for its for its size. That's for sure. You can see here, it's learned how to do Python and do the things, right? Has perfectly kind of reasonable task. It likes to add extra stuff, which I think I need to prompt engineer my way out of that. But yeah, it's quite amazing that it's kind of coming up with this stuff and making a whole thing. So Mistral's pretty good. Anyway, so let's check it on this other server here. So let's go to my other server here. Okay. So CPU is empty, CPU is idle. Let me make a symbolic link to Mistral. Hold on. Okay, I gotta move Mistral into xai-llm-server and chain O. There we go. Okay, so I have the model there, and if I LNS Mistral 7B to xai-llm-server models, like so. And now if I do Python app.py, see how that works. Okay, so now if I say hi, oh, okay, well, that didn't work very well. Let's go here and fix the path. So that's the actual path on the server. And is there anything else? I'm not sure. Let's find out. Make that and reset. Okay, cool. So that's loading. It's responding. Greeting, question. Perfect. Mistral has a really bad time making these this auto rename for the title. It doesn't get that it has to be short sometimes. Anyway, so that's perfectly valid response. Now, if I go to 7db chat and say, help me write an article about AI. So if we, oh, darn, I didn't do this inside a screen. Ah, but now it's working. I did absolutely nothing and now it works. Great. You gotta love it when that happens. Okay, cool. So now you can kind of see we have like Mistral 7B as like a GPT 3.5 turbo type of thing, and 7db chat as like the GPT-4 kind of thing. In terms of speed, it's kind of slow, and this is the fastest GPU you could possibly get, and it's quantized. So, you know, it's about as I think maybe you can get this to be a little bit faster, but anyway, so that's kind of cool. We're able to get this running on an H100. Let's see what NVIDIA SMI shows us. That looks very not using GPU and using a lot of CPU. Okay, so I thought that was a little slow, but when you think about it, quite amazing, right? Like, what do we have here? We are dealing with an Ice Lake CPU, and yeah, it's chewing through those. It's really chewing through that, and using a lot less memory than I was expecting for that. Yeah, so that is not running on the GPU. We need to find out why. So what am I working on? So what we're working on right now is I want to get the xai-llm-server running on the H100 machine, and also get Stable Diffusion running on the H100 machine. Or maybe not this one. Maybe I'll run Stable Diffusion on the T4 machine, and set it up so that we can use it for tomorrow's class. But anyway, so that I'm amazed at how fast this is going, given that this is CPU. It is quite amazing. And the memory readout here is a little weird, but I'm guessing it's mapped the file just completely. So I guess it's considering it as cached. Anyway, I want this to finish, so let's give it a while to finish that. But why is it not using the GPU? That's interesting. That is interesting because I'm pretty sure Mistral was using the GPU. So further assistance, thank you, finish reason, cool. Now let's switch back. to Mistral. And ask it to tell me a joke or something just to make that customer. Okay, so this is doing 16 tokens per second. That does not seem to me like it's using the GPU. Let's try that again. Just look at the output here. Okay, 0 of 35 layers to GPU. Okay, so that would explain it. Why 0 of 35 layers? What the GPU? That would be because, yeah, that it's not set like that. NGL equals 35, right? Okay, so let's restart that. Okay. More funny. Okay, now we have, again, 0 of 35 layers to the GPU. Let's double check the documentation on MonoCQB for Python. I thought I did it right. Pretty sure I'm doing it right somewhere else, but I haven't committed those changes, so I must be forgetting something. So in GQA should be 8, and that does make sense. And I did do this with Llama Kublas on, and it's loading it, so it does mean that Kublas is installed. Maybe I'm doing that wrong. Let's see if it needs to be like this, equals 35, which would make sense. It might be n underscore GL. That could be it. Actually funny. Okay, there we go. That was fast. Okay, so now we're offloaded those. And then likewise, if we switch over to 7dB, I kind of want the backend to be somewhere else. Make a comment special type of joke. Like from John Oliver. Okay. Let's give that a second to load. It's ridiculous light. Okay, yeah, that's much faster. And that's pretty usable in terms of speed. I like that. Okay, so let's check out what that issue is saying. 576. How to use GPU? Yeah, I know how to use the GPU. Yeah, it was just that the README is kind of wrong, and I was too lazy to look up how I got it working on my Windows machine. But anyway, hashtag not gonna happen. I have the feeling this is actually doing pretty good. I need to actually sit down and read it. Okay, cool. So now that we have 7dB running at a reasonable speed, let's go a little crazy and see how does 7dB handle babyagi. I think that's what I want. Yeah, Llama 2 7dB check. Okay, and then let's just make this be solve world hunger. Just to start. Let's run it and see what it does. And one thing is I'm using vector memory here, which we kind of have to do, mainly because, you know, Llama doesn't have, or at least we haven't implemented any embedding APIs yet. So things are a little, seems to be a little slow for some reason. But anyway, we haven't done that. Let's look at vector and see what's going on there. Okay, so AutoGPT space 1 is the one I always use for this. And now you can see the statistics. And that's cool. You can see how many things you're using, and you can kind of see that this is using a lot of stuff. I'm using an OpenAI model, which is not ideal. From a cost perspective, because doing these things can take up a lot of money really quickly, and that's not going to fly when we open up our agent platform to everyone. So that's why I want to essentially not have to worry about that. Let's open up a terminal and run this from the terminal. Okay, now we have contacts, tool runner, develop task lists. That didn't work for what? Why? Llama 2 7dB chat is our model. Yeah, so we got localhost 5000, space 1. Which I kind of wonder how it would work if I used a different space. Let's do that. Ah, wait a second. I think I do. But let me stop this anyway. So let's stop this. Screen UX. And I want to run this in here. Yep. 5,000 happening. Screen UX. Okay, so this should be working. And you can access it from here, no problems. Yep. All right. Konnichiwa. Because it's 7dB and it can actually speak Japanese. I maybe spoke too soon. Okay. AutoGPT Space 2 is also open AI. Let me make an SBERT baby AGI Space 1. Okay, I haven't used SBERT in a while. I'm pretty sure it'll work. Let's do that. And then let's go here. Call this baby AGI Space 1. Initialize it every time. And have our task list. Yeah, base is set. I did fix a bug. Finished executing. Weird. Weird. What if I set this to be Mistral 7B instruct? Unknown model. What did I call it? Okay. Should have it in my other terminal. Mistral 7B instruct. Pretty sure all I cared about was whether or not it was, whether it started with Mistral or not. I think that was that specific. Let's try this again. Okay. Call it such an unknown model. Could say unknown model if it wasn't actually changing this for whatever reason. It'd be a weird thing. Let's close that. Not only the open API, because if it was saying Llama 2 70B chat would fail very much. And it does not. What? Did I do something? I mean, I did fix this bug, but that's a bug. I don't think that would cause it to stop working. Okay. This diagram should have component is set up correctly here. And the task list is created. And set as task list. The task list is created. Hold on. So if we go, just to make sure that this is working, chat GPT-3.5 turbo. Let's run that. One thing I did remove from here was the weight. There was no longer a weight in there. Okay, yeah, so that's actually running. Okay, don't care about that. And if I set it to API base, I need to reload this thing. API base, and set this to 112 9 dot. P2, I think. Yeah, okay, so that's running there. Is it not happy with localhost? That'd be so strange if it was. Okay, so the exact same thing here. Let's run it. Okay, so it is running with Mistral. Did I do something? I don't think I did anything. Well, whatever. Let's bring this back to llama to 70B chat. Let's run that. Okay, well, whatever it is I did, I fixed it. So let's look at it do something. What should I ask it to do that we can see and have it be non-trivial? Oh no, the same issue. Finish executing. Develop a task list. Llama 70B just says no. Or something else is up. Let me just check the technologic thing. I didn't misspell it or anything, did I? Llama 2, 70B chat should be going to that thing. And if I rerun this, I think I know what it is. I know what it is. The reason is because this agent components thing is trying to be too smart. So when I made this LLM call, llama meant doing something special, right? So we're just gonna add that here. Actually, I wonder how did that work? It worked because I was using GPT-305 Turbo, which in the thing I was like kind of defaulting to Mistral. Okay, so that's why that worked. Okay, so let's change that up, and then we'll run this. you see stuff? Okay, so let's see how good Llama 7db is at solving world hunger. Kind of need a really beefy GPU for this one. It is 0% though.
Hey, I thought I'll join in.
Oh, okay. How's it going?
Yeah, I've been kind of watching what you're trying to do. And I'm wondering, like, at what point does it actually decide to stop or continue? Because
it stops when the task list is empty, because that is a false value in Python.
So it stops directly because it doesn't even put anything on the task list in the first place then?
Yeah.
So it gets an empty output?
Yeah, because it was running that thing where instead of, calling the OpenAI models API, it was running a program. And that program would fail, and so everything would just be 0, and then, then there was no task to do, and it would fail.
I see.
This is different though. Hold on. Because we have one CPU here kind of pegged. So let's stop that. And now we use Technologic to, I don't know, say, tell me a joke or something like that.
It kind of looks, so I've been looking at Googling what people are saying. And it is a bit, so based on the output that you've got in the console, it seems that, I guess, what I'm seeing there is kind of not the right thing. So it sometimes has this prefix gen hit, or what was it? A prefix match hit.
Yeah, it'll do that all the time, I think.
And then it looks like it's not doing anything. But yeah, people have been asking about that in many cases, and it's always something different. So I guess that is unrelated.
I said make a funnier one, and it just does the same one. Okay. It rings a bell, but I'm not sure if it's here or not. I think in the box. Who names their cat Schrodinger? That would be a weird cat name.
That is the longest setup for what I expect to be not a good punchline. It's kind of like it's telling a story just.
Yeah. I forgot the punchline. But anyway, so that is running. So I expect this to run too. Could it possibly be that this is too long?
I mean, you could copy and paste that and move that through Technologic. Maybe the problem is that this time it's not asking for a streamed response, so it takes just a very long time to get a response at all. And on the other hand, we've seen that it's at 0, right?
Yeah. So it's not making a response.
You could copy and paste that into Technologic and see what that for the output is.
Mm-hmm. I wish it had not such a long joke, because I don't know, something about this looks weird.
I mean, you don't need that long joke. Just copy and paste this prompt and see what you get.
Yeah, I think it should be fine. But I'm wondering, the prompt looks weird.
Yeah, the tools are kind of it's literally
like,
putting the representation of a string.
It's more like there's two of the same, right? System input and user input. And then that's making me wonder, what are we sending? System content prompt. Weird. It's interesting. Do we always have it just send the system message and that's it? Or did I change this when I was playing around with it? Maybe it's weird. That's weird. Come on. It's not streaming, so it must be there's some difference between stream answer and not stream answer. Generate. So I did have a few things that I fixed that I haven't committed because I kind of made it local, which makes it a little annoying. So, one second. Okay, so whatever. That's actually kind of amazing. I've never seen ChatGPT try to do something. and it's like browsing the web, making a CSV file with facts, right?
I mean, it needs to find facts first.
Yeah,
But,
that's actually kind of amazing. Like, because ChatGPT has never done that. Like, if you tell it solve world hunger, it just like talks to itself, right? So that's interesting. But I think there's something wrong. There's definitely something wrong, not here, but here. So the llama instruction prompt has instruction and input. And I think that's how you're supposed to do it. But let's check the bloats things.
I think so. What I can see kind of up front is, at least from the things that you are outputting, you're putting like the two-string variant of lists into it, instead of turning putting in like a string itself. So that is the thing that looks off to me the most.
For me, it's not terribly different. I mean, we could totally do that, but I don't think it's a big thing. The thing that's weird to me is like this user input being the same as the system input and stuff like that, and then whether or not that is correct. And I'm not 100%.
Oh, you mean that it gets kind of the same thing twice?
Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah, it's getting the same thing twice, which it's probably a bug. Rechecked HTML. README. And then here we can see the prompt template. It should be this, right? Okay. So the llama instruction prompt would be, God damn it. Okay, llama instruction prompt should be inst sys, then the instruction, new line, instruction, new line, sys, then the input, and then that. Okay. Now, if you don't have anything, then I think that makes perfect sense. And then if it is a llama prompt, so there should be an instruction is always required and an input is optional. Sys instruction, input, prompt, just instruction. Seems kind of okay. And then when we're generating the answer, system input, user input. This number should be different. Okay. if there's system input and user input, we generate the prompt with the system, the user, and model name. Else, if there's only system input, let's do that. And else, do it with just the user input. Let's restart that. Yeah, and then I can totally fix the tools, like print it out or something. And so we have inst. We only have the user input, which is correct. We only have the user input. So there's no sys. You might want one, but no.
I mean, at this point, it probably should be having the system instructions there, like you are an AI who performs one task, or something like that.
Yeah.
And this thing, I mean, it's kind of set up for something that is
Not a chat model.
yeah, not a chat model.
Yeah.
So maybe that should also be changed. What is working there? I see like you had this thing up. It's like, yeah, 2 CPUs that it's using.
Yeah. The GPU is empty, but 2 CPUs are running single thread, which is weird.
So what is it doing? It's kind of neat that it can offload only a certain amount of layers to the GPU.
Yeah.
So if you don't have enough RAM, you can do like only half or so.
Yeah. That's actually a really good kind of feature. And later on, I'm thinking, hey, I wonder how fast it'd be if we offload half of the, like, if we load it in 16-bit mode, but only load half of the weights on a vector engine. That could be a thing.
Yeah, I'm
And then
wondering
also,
whether it would be
you could do
possible to
two.
just use 2 vector engines.
Yeah, that was the second one, because it would. I don't think GGML has that kind of feature, but if we added it, we could totally run 70B on 2 vector engines, and that might work depending on stuff.
Yeah, if they pass kind of the in-between state. I mean, well, I was about to say, well, this doesn't even use 48 gigabytes of memory, but on the other hand, it's not. It appears that it doesn't do anything at the moment.
No, so this doesn't. So this could run in 48, but it's quantized at 4-bit.
Ah, okay.
And kind of have some ideas, right? Of like how would you do that? So I'm not 100% sure what's going on here, but like whatever I'm doing, it's not using the GPU if I'm not streaming, which would be kind of weird.
So it's not using the GPU when it's not streaming.
Yeah.
So
I need
that
to
means
look
it is kind of running single-threaded.
Which seems weirdly fast. Like, I don't know. Like this it is kind of like a lot of tokens, right? For the CPU to be running single thread, that should take forever.
Oh, I'm not sure. But I know one thing, and that is for our for the bot platform, we may want to support streaming the kind of the thoughts in.
Yeah.
Because you know,
it looked better for sure.
It's more interesting to look at.
Yeah. And it could make it possible to like stop it while it's processing, which can be a really important thing.
Yeah. If you're like, oh, this isn't going anywhere into the direction that I want, it can be like, let's really stop it.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I've done something different. Okay, so this is stream answer, which has the model name, system input, user input, max tokens. And this is working great. Now it is using create completion and stuff like that. So it is a different API. This generate answer is calling the model.
That is if it's not streaming?
Yeah, if it's not streaming, we'll call generate answer. So
and then
reach completions. Then if not stream, generate answer.
And otherwise,
else
responds with a stream answer.
Stream answer. Yeah.
Okay. So
this could be wrong, or it might be like slow for
can you show me where model is defined?
Model is defined. Okay, so model is taken from this get model thing. So
and get model is what originally instantiates it.
Yeah, so we originally have this dictionary of the models that are loaded, and then get model. If it starts with llama, it will do this. If it starts with RWKB, it'll do that. If it starts with Mistral, it'll do this.
Okay, so that means it should, in general, use, like if it's using the GPU for non-streamed output, it should be using it for streamed output, right?
Yeah. But on the CPP Python, so I think I'm using the low-level bind API here, right? I am not. Yeah, I'm using this one, the high-level API. And then there was talk of streaming. Let's do this on GitHub. Let's put on GitHub. Okay, so we're using this high-level API. And
mean, you could set echo to true and see how fast it outputs.
I thought echo was true already. So. Generate answer.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, echo is true.
How does the streaming thing look like?
The stream is a different API up here, where we call create completion with stream equals true. So
what if you use create completion without stream equals true?
Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so model. Let's do this other way. Output equals.
You've put a stray slash after the end.
How in the world did that happen? Okay, so we have model create completion, generate prompt. That was way too much.
You also need to. Oh, yeah, you can do it that way.
Okay, so let's paste that in there. Yep. String
It
false.
max tokens needs to be a number. Then you can
I'll just delete that. And this one only has system input. And then this one.
essentially the same, but it only has user input.
And user input.
How does generate prompt know that one is system input and the other one is user input?
It doesn't really care. It's just like, does it have two or does it have one?
Okay.
Hopefully this is correct. Where did my server go? Interesting. And I think the reloading doesn't free up any memory on the GPU, which causes problems. Okay, so
reloading as in the auto reload.
Yeah, the Flask auto reloading.
Okay. I mean, is it using the GPU now?
No. Why?
Is like maybe the tokenizer is really slow and then the actual thing on the GPU is really fast?
Yeah. I was kind of thinking that too, but it wouldn't be that slow.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah. Hmm. B3 by E3, there's the GPU. Pretty much everything's there. This server, I'm not sure if it has AVX512 or not, but still. That's weird. Just, okay, hold on. Let's cancel that. Cancel that. Let's go back to TechnoLogic. Hold on. So one thing, that's all we need. And up to pi. GPU. Split this. Okay. So now, let's delete that and run this.
Loading the thing. And it happily streams an output.
Yeah, hold on, hold on. I'm gonna watch this
A bit more often.
at 1 second intervals. Okay, good.
Okay. That still is 0% utilization.
That's weird because there's no way a single core is that fast.
Yes. What? How? Why?
7 seconds per second. I mean, we can check, right? Like if I go, we look for llama. I set the NGPU layers to 0. And we restart that. Seven.
Apparently that is something that can happen, so that is reporting 0% usage if you're not
The same user?
using a binary that is compiled for that particular architecture of GPU.
I am using 11.8. It does say CUDA version 12.2 here. I don't recall installing 12.2. I recall installing 11.8.
Yeah, what the guy whose problem I'm reading here, and he has like complained about that in August. He solved it by recompiling his thing for for the architecture and updating CUDA, and then it worked.
I see.
So
Okay, so then maybe we're not chasing anything realistic. It's that the it's just
it's
a
that
lot of
NVIDIA
output.
SMI isn't properly reporting that.
Yeah. I just have to go by the temperature. Unfortunately, Llama is not good at Japanese, which makes it very difficult right now for me. Being in a Japanese company, being in Japan, the demos don't resonate here as much.
Yeah. How good is Mistral?
Terrible. Like, let's look. Yeah, it doesn't seem so bad, right?
That looks like Japanese to me. At least
says,
the characters.
Yeah. Translate that to English. You can kind of see. Yeah. In terms of like that, it's kind of okay. But if I say, for example, translate the following to Japanese, go to the store and buy some cookies and pick up some cookies for the party later today. So it says, to today's party, buy cookies and go. Right? I'm not sure if like Google Translate or maybe DeepL can translate that correctly for us or not. Buy cookies and go to the party today.
Yeah. It's not too far away. I mean, it's not a great translation.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's kind of interesting. But if I were to use SimDB and do the same thing, that's pretty good. So it says,
interesting.
For the party today, right? Go like at the store, buy cookies, please. And this is another thing. It cannot do these like at all. Like this is okay. This is okay. This is wrong. Now this is okay. That was okay. But like this kind of romanization, the pronunciation, Mistral completely butchers that every time. But yeah, and Llama 7 is absolutely terrible at this. But 70 is not too bad. Not too bad at all. Like if I were to take this and paste this into DeepL, go to the store and buy some cookies to go along with today's party, right? Like it's much more nuanced and correct.
Yeah, that's true.
I got 7 tokens per second, so
Solve word hunger, use short sentences.
what can I do? About like open text edit. Using Python tool and also a script. Okay, let's see how that works. Now, at the end of the generation, we'll see the thing. So I'm kind of looking to see if we see that 7 tokens per second or not.
And keep the NVIDIA SMI thing also in view. That way we can see, you know, whether it gets warmer. Yeah, it does slightly.
Yeah,
it's interesting that kind of the power usage also stays kind of low.
Yeah, that is a little too low. That's like.
But it also said it also was the same way when you ran it with the streaming. It also stayed kind of at this low level, claiming that there was no utilization.
Yeah, it could be that it really is like mostly waiting. Although that'd be so weird for H100 because it has plenty of bandwidth.
It's getting slightly warmer, but
yeah,
that could be other components in the system being warm, kind of spitting things out. Because if I run anything on my GPU, like the temperature jumps.
Yeah.
It's not this small kind of, it's kind of getting warm around here steps.
This could be a virtualization thing. That is also possible. Okay, so 7 tokens per second. So yeah, we're good. It's actually running, I think. And what if I need to be root?
Oh, that could be the reason. Oh no. Yeah, it might have been like, I would have rather expected not to show all processes if you're not root. But kind of still show the general stats.
Yeah.
Maybe it is some kind of weird virtualization thing where it's showing you the stats of an like unrelated H100 or so.
Yeah. Use the Python tool, god damn it. Okay, so whatever, let's go back and see what install is, and back into screen. Split. It knows exactly what it needs to do. Yeah, and this time you can see like system input, nothing user input.
Yeah.
So that's better. This needs to go faster. I did get rid of the sleep, right? Yeah, there's no sleep here. And it's not Vector that's holding us up, is it?
I wouldn't expect that. Vector usually is pretty fast with the results. Yeah, there's essentially zero load on that server.
Yeah.
Like HTOP is using more CPU than anything else.
Yeah, it is kind of true. Like having streaming just makes everything better, like, from a usability perspective.
I mean, it wouldn't work that well with circuits, or yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just print it out as it's coming in. Check if text is open, because it's definitely not. Yeah, if OSA script tool was a thing, you know, that would work, but it's not. Stop being so
Develop
dumb.
a task list. Tool OSA script. So now the question is, yeah, I mean, it is also gaslighting itself. You have successfully opened TextEdit on your computer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
hold
kind
on,
of
let's
needs
cancel
to.
that. And then do Mistral 7B instruct.
Just get a quicker answer.
Yeah. Right. Pretty sure that was necessary. Okay. Let's go. Seems really slow to me, but
Yeah, I would expect it to have used a bit. I think it is using more memory now.
yeah,
I
got both in memory.
Yeah, one thing that I also find kind of weird is that it is like memory usage isn't fluctuating.
What if I stream it to the console?
Well, you need to give it some kind of target, right?
If I do true, right? And instead of output, let's make these all stream. Then ret is equal to that, and then for thing in stream.
Oh, I wonder. So you put like 80 or something for the number of GPU layers to offload?
Yeah. Should be 83.
You can also put -1, so that
Oh.
would just be like all.
That makes things so much easier.
What else is useful in there?
Okay, model output. This is text. That equals. So for output in stream possibly good enough?
Maybe.
Let's give it a try. Oh, right. Never mind. Hold on. One sec. That was, I didn't want to just stream it. I wanted to print output choices 0 text. And then do that. There we go. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, interesting. Unable to determine the device handle for GPU. Unknown error.
I kill the GPU. May have killed the GPU.
A 100% usage on NVIDIA SMI. I guess you may want to kill that one too. Like, I don't care who you are. I'm continuing. Can you check dmask or just the kernel messages? Yeah.
Yeah, something is weird. There's no way this should be this slow. Mistral's like super fast on this thing.
Yeah.
Let's cancel everything. Get out of there.
System restart required.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's already hanging.
Yeah, that's.
You probably want to have a reboot.
I think we found some bugs. We'll probably not be using Konoha. Let's reboot it. And I might be going like, why are you using so much? It's the last day. It's like, exactly, because it's the last day we're going to use the crap out of it.
Yeah.
That'll take quite a while to come back up. But, yeah, something's wrong with it because instead of doing that, use my Windows machine, and we can see that it should be much faster.
And that is with Mistral again, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that seems like something is really wrong with that.
So weird that it can't figure out the tools, like how to use the tool part. it is weird because it can kind of get it. Like, you know, like if we rewrote the whole toll system, actually, that seems like it's perfectly fine. What's wrong with this?
Yeah. Probably that where it's running doesn't actually have OSA script.
All right, one sec. So if I go here, Python. That's probably why. So we have subprocess. Syntax error. You found unknown token. That's weird. But I think what's happening here is Python tool. We are trying to execute with Python. And on this machine, Python works fine. Because the env is different.
No idea.
Why would it not be that? I think maybe the whole tooling thing needs to be changed a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
Stuff like, because this is something that we could totally do, right? Like just look for Python blocks and
It could work maybe kind of similar to how we did the tooling for Technologic. Where it's like select the tool first, select the thing that you want to run. Here's how exactly the JSON that you should be producing should look like. And here's how it should start, or something like that.
It doesn't get an error if it tries to use an unknown tool. I think that could possibly be a thing too. Hold on. So if I go Python 3, all process error. That's weird because I thought that would work. OSA script -e tell location text edit to activate is totally reasonable. End of script.
What even is OSA script?
It's just a thing for running Perl or Apple script.
So OSA script -e tell app whatever to activate.
See, it's, you know, and this one you can see it kind of running and doing its thing,
Yeah.
and being hot.
So the only thing that I can see is that it's usually using kind of doing things the other way around, so that it is using double quotes on the application and single quotes on the thing around it.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Double quote there. So what are you doing now? Crazy.
I mean, it is kind of clever enough to know that it should be one way. So that to nest quotes, it needs to change, but it doesn't kind of get it that it needs to be the other way around.
Yeah. If I give it a hint, will it work with Mistral? That would be kind of cool, I guess. Connection refused. We might have killed that server.
Yeah, it might not even reboot. Interesting thing is that it doesn't quite give it like the feedback that it should be getting.
That could also be a thing.
I mean, right now it is using the correct quotes. It's just trying to do a lot. If you scroll down a little, or even here, was a script execute, and then it's using the correct kind of quoting.
Wait a second, that's not a thing. Is that a thing? Python 3 import OSA script. That's not a thing. Yeah, that's not a thing.
No, that's not the thing, but in principle, the quoting thing is correct.
Yeah.
It just goes into delusions. And because it has tried with the delusions, it continues with them.
Yeah. Should probably add temperature and stuff. Like I feel like temperature should be a thing corresponding to like stress.
Yeah.
And
tell application text edit. And is that text edit that just started there?
yes, but I also opened something just now, so I don't think so. Yeah, and it just keeps going with the tasks instead of like completing tasks, as usual. Yes, Omaha does not have a good time with this server. Yeah, everything's like an error. It's like, can't read anything, can't access anything. Everything is broken.
Yeah. Everything is broken.
You got a nice
Here have a small enemy girl.
Yeah.
Everything
I
is
asked him
broken.
to-
Please take the waifu.
Yeah, I did ask him to give us.
Oh, nice. You killed the thing. Low level exception.
Wow, that's some low level exceptions there. How did that happen?
I mean,
I should probably not be running this on my computer.
I mean, access violation reading a null pointer, so it ran into a null pointer somewhere.
Inside of OpenAI.
No. That is. This is about not being able to read the JSON that it got as an answer. The JSON that it got as an answer was, hey, low-level exception.
I see. It's still running.
That's dead. Probably. Yeah. Exception, access violation, null pointer.
That's interesting.
Maybe it ran out of memory. That is kind of one way of getting a null.
Yeah. Okay, server is back up. Cool.
So it was just a server restart thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to bounce now. Need to prepare dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're still online later on, I'll come join again. So talk to you later.
Okay. Bye. So let's do that. We'll now do that for local root. So let's kill that. Go back to localhost. And this be unlock 2 70p checked. Maybe 3 layers to the GPU. We might be waiting on disk IO right now. So let's give that a second to run. I'm not sure if that's how many seconds is a good number of seconds to be giving it, but we'll give it a little while. Let's stick with just one terminal window. It's fine. It might have been good to test with technology first, as we know that that one works. hold on, that's kind of a little slow. Models are there. Should be fine. Okay, so technologic to use 7db. Yeah, we got the loading dots happening now, so that's good. Perfect. And then if we do this, now we can see it in action. Probably want to do the print without the last line there. Stop that. Let it finish. Let it finish. I don't think we need it. Okay. I, we have our print. And is the blank character. That should be good enough. Okay, but the question is, why is streaming necessary? If I run it like this without doing the streaming first, that should load just fine. Yeah, that loaded. Maybe we're just a little too impatient when it comes to the disk. Yeah, it wants to use the OSA script tool. Unfortunately, that is not a tool. I love how it's like using logic and if statements for the task list. That's a little interesting. Interesting, now it's decided to load your tasks as JSON. And doing stuff. It's kind of close, but I definitely think we'll need to fine tune it a little bit. The fine tuning Llama 7db is not a cheap task. Okay, we got Python running. The output isn't happening. That's weird. But I like how it says, like, since the OSA script tool is not available, I'll use the Python tool. That does seem like it's, kind of getting it. It's kind of figuring things out. But it has now totally forgotten its previous thoughts. That's kind of cool. So we have that working. We can see the status of things. Here are all the tasks. Statistics. A lot more things going on now. But luckily, since this is running SBERT and not OpenAI, and then this is running, Llama 270B instead of OpenAI, it means we don't have any OpenAI anymore. And I can run this all day long. And it doesn't cost me anything. Whether or not it works, though, that's the other problem. So anyway, okay, so we got that running. And that's kind of good. What else should we do? Hopefully SBERT is able to understand these things good enough. But there's a problem with how simple all these agent frameworks are for dealing with vector databases that I have plans to fix. Another great thing is there's no limits. I can make as many calls as I want, as often as I want. I don't have to worry about usage limits or causing problems, which is, it becomes more and more serious as you're using OpenAI for your business stuff, right? If you have a runaway agent, that can really mess things up. And we started a project to kind of make sure you don't have runaway agents kind of making too many OpenAI calls. But we aren't the only ones doing that. There's kind of a lot of people doing that these days. Need to come up with a better task, something that what can we do with Python? That would be something that it would probably do. Only 1 token per second. That's pretty good. That's like pretty good. What can we ask it to do? That would work. Just for illustrative purposes, How about create a simple Pong game or something? No, I don't have the libraries installed. I don't want it to be messing with my libraries. It's a good question. Like, of the things that I might want it to do, there's not a lot of things because we don't have like a Mac desktop kind of like automation, so it is a little hard to think of something that it can do. Could it, what can you do with just straight Python? Did I have a CSV file or something? I don't think I have a, yeah, I don't have a CSV file per se. Nothing easy to work with. And various Excel files that might not be worth it. Yeah, I do have like the hourly readings of my smart meter of my house. Not sure if that, like it's weird, as you can see. So there's nothing in there that I think would be interesting to really see. And very few things would be outside of the browser. Although we do have the browser thing. I mean, we could give it access to the browser and see. Yeah, well, let's do that. Let's go up in the browser tool. Let's keep these there, I think. So we'll have the browser tool, scratchpad tool, and let's get the browser tool. Tool spec should be tool 3. Something like that. And launch CDP. Remote debugging port. So we do applications, Google Chrome, contents, macOS, Google Chrome, -- remote debugging port is equal to 555. We have a Chrome opening an existing browser session. That's not what I wanted. Pretty sure that's not what I wanted. The browser tool. CDP address. I had instructions for this. Okay, let's go with that. We need to learn this about debugging port 9222. Grab this session, but will it connect? That's a good question. Well, let's find out. Okay, so we have that. And if it's using 9222, I think that's the default. Not 100% sure, so let's just specify it. 9222. Okay. Now let's go to here. Say go to amazon.co.jp and buy a milk steaming pitcher for espresso. So we know GPT was not able to do this, but will Llama 2? That'd be interesting to see. Browse tool. Has lots of ideas about how this is going to work. Yeah, I don't see any chroming happening yet. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure if it's able to do that or not. Definitely not. It's definitely better to have the streaming. It just makes it, you can see stuff, and that's quite much better. Actually, maybe should I try it just to see if it's working? I guess I should try it. Be something like this. So if we do Python, import playwright, and that works. Import that. And use ws://127.0.1.92 on Chrome. I think I missed reading the playwright. Create playwright. On that. So that's PW. Does this no longer work? That would be weird because it used to work. I'm going to call this PW. Sync playwright. API instead. What if I don't want to use the async API? That's annoying. That's so annoying. So annoying. Yeah, screw the browser thing. This stuff is like just a mountain of pain for zero. It's pain, zero gain. I don't know. Let's see. Go. Yeah, let's forget about the whole browser thing. Because I'm not sure if that works anymore. They keep changing things, and that's one of the painful parts about all this stuff. Is how much change there is to these APIs all the time. Okay, well anyway, so we do know that it can kind of get stuff. Not sure if it can get stuff done, but Llama 7DB can deal with it. Unlike Llama 7, the last time we did this, it was with Llama 7, and that did not go well. But 7DB does seem to like have a good good grasp on things. It's just not smart enough, which is unfortunate. Okay, well, anyway, so we did get this running. That's good, and it's nice to see things as it's streaming. It's definitely preferred. So, what do we do? I hate it when I do that. And maybe we can just end it here. We did get this running. It was interesting. And yeah, we totally did get it running. So might as well go with that. Now, whether or not, so this is still using like the kind of dev server for Python rather than being the full thing. Getting that implemented correctly would be another few hours, so probably won't do that on stream just now, but maybe in the next stream or something like that, we might do that. Because we need to kind of queue up and batch inputs while processing is happening, and then do things in a single thread for the GPU and have multiple workers kind of collecting stuff. And that gets complicated when it's Python. Yeah, so I think we'll end it here. That's a good place to end. We have babyagi running. Not sure what it could do with Python, but it could work, but it does do something. And yeah, we have now the possibility to run a completely OpenAI free agent setup, and I think that's a significant milestone. Mainly because these things are expensive. Now, of course, this is an H100. That's pretty expensive, right? But it's different to know that this H100 is going to cost me X, and I'm never going to be charged more than X. That's pretty useful to know when you're trying to keep things budgeted correctly. Now, of course, you do set their max in OpenAI, but I've run agents for like 10 minutes and get bills of $10 or $20. So yeah, I'm much more comfortable having my own models that I can just kind of experiment with and not have to pay a ridiculous amount for. But anyway, so I will push these changes from the xai-llm server into our repository so you can use them. And I think we will be adding that kind of production deployment stuff into that server pretty soon. So yeah, but in the meantime, it's a great way to run, for example, Mistral 7B on your local computer and do it that way. Mistral is quite good for its size, just like RKWV was. It's pretty good for being a 7 billion parameter model, and fits in about 4 gigs. So as long as you have a GPU that can handle 8 gigs of RAM, you can run Mistral 7B on it and have a perfectly usable chatbot in your Technologic, also open source for those who didn't know. So we totally recommend checking it out, putting these things together, letting us know if you have any issues, or sending us a pull request, because that would be appreciated too. So yeah, I'll sign off here, and I'll see you guys next week, same time. Probably next week we'll be back on doing some vector engine things. I've been playing around with this idea of how to quantize on the vector engine fast. And I have some ideas. I need to flesh them out a little bit more, but maybe we'll do that in the next stream so that we can possibly look at running bigger and bigger models, maybe like Slava 70B on a vector engine, which would be very nice because our vector engines are much cheaper than H100s. So I will see you guys next week. And yeah, feel free to contact us if you have any questions or anything like that. We're always around. Thanks, everyone. Talk later.